On December 8th, 2016, at least 15 people were injured in a multi-vehicle crash on Interstate 90 in northwestern Pennsylvania. The culprit? Lake effect squalls. Hi, I'm Chris May, host of This Day in Weather History, a podcast from the Weather Network in Canada. And today's episode is accompanied by a podcast video short that you can watch either on TV in Canada, on the Weather Network, or online anytime, anywhere you are at theweathernetwork.com/weather history. They're shot right here in the podcast studio, and it features the episode first being made. That's kind of cool. But it also has video and photos from the event I'm talking about today, from when it really happened. So be sure to watch that. It took crews hours to clear the wreckage that was blamed on lake effect snow off Lake Erie this day in weather history. This was not just one, but several accidents that happened, and all caused by the sudden whiteout nightmare that is the lake effect squall. For one of the December 8th accident scenes, it involved 5 tractor trailers and multiple passenger vehicles. Many in this incident were injured enough to be taken to hospital, but those who were not had to take shelter in a school bus that happened to be in the accident, so therefore already at the scene. It was a mess. And this was fast thinking, seeing as how mobility for anyone in this was deemed next to impossible. Then there was, still on December 8th, and still on the I-90, an Ohio accident. The brutal weather conditions caused a separate multi-vehicle crash in another state, but this time involving more than 50 vehicles, including a Greyhound bus. The highway was shut down there for more than 14 hours. And still on the same day, if you can believe this, there was another major pileup crash, this time in Michigan. For those of you keeping score at home, we've got 3 states now, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and now Michigan. This one sadly claimed the lives of 3 people. So there we were, December 8th, 2016, this day in weather history, and in one storm, we had 3 major pileups in 3 different states, with 2 happening on the same interstate highway. Then, 1 week later, and again in Pennsylvania, December 15th. This time on Interstate 80 in western Pennsylvania, a massive pileup of 59 vehicles, which included 22 tractor trailers and 37 cars, occurred as part of a crash in Jefferson County. And the crash was only one of 3, here we go again, that shut down different stretches of I-80 in the western part of the state. And lake effect snow bans were being blamed again. Miraculously, only 3 people were reportedly hurt with minor injuries, but, and I can't believe this is happening again, uninjured drivers were transported by bus to a nearby hotel. Not hospital, hotel. All right, now, they really need to consider a hospital there, like right along the highways in Pennsylvania, you know? First, a school bus was used for temporary triage, then a hotel. Anyway, check out some of the other tragedies that occurred in this melee. It was reported that a mixture of diesel fuel, milk, oil, and Budweiser beer spilled all over the road from the numerous types of vehicles involved. Milk? Oil? Bud? Sounds like it was my fridge that got into that accident. I'm sorry about that one. Okay, that was an easy shot. Okay, now on to the other accident scenes. Among the other crashes on I-80, one included a truck fire that shut down traffic near the Ohio state line. So here we are again 1 week later, and Ohio is also back in the mix of this. And still on the I-80, there was a separate multi-vehicle crash in Mercer County. So what was the cause this time? You guessed it, lake effect snow bands caused slick roads and poor visibility. Lake effect snow came pouring in like streamers driven by wind gusts of up to 70 miles per hour. That's over 112 kilometers per hour. The oscillation of these winds off Lake Erie were so intense that they even caused traffic problems in upstate New York on Thursday as well. Parts of the Adirondack Northway, north of the New York State Capitol in Albany, were closed for more than 4 hours after a crash that involved a tractor trailer colliding with, ironically, a snowplow. Plus, on top of all of this, in Oswego County, portions of I-81 were closed after a fatal crash occurred there. And thankfully, mercifully, and luckily, that was it. Just an unbelievable chain of terrifying traffic tangles and tragedies that all started on December 8th of 2016, this day in weather history. Tomorrow is December 9th, And for this, we go to California, where they were battling the Thomas Fire in 2017 at this time. It was a massive wildfire that affected Ventura and Santa Barbara counties and was unfortunately just one of multiple wildfires that flared up in the Southern California area during this time. Remember to subscribe to the podcast so you are always alerted to when the next day is ready to listen to. Just click the subscribe or follow button on the site or page you are listening to me on right now. That also gets you full-time access to all of the past episodes in the archives, so you can always catch up on the days you missed or listen again to your favorites. Hey, have you got a favorite? Tell me about it. You can reach me online anytime on Twitter at MaydayTWN. That's at MEIDAYTWN. And tomorrow we tackle the Thomas Fire in SoCal on this day in weather history with me, your host, Chris May.